Yo, 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 what is up, YouTube? Playing some Mercury here today. It's Dr. Claire's. Oh my god, dude. I actually go against this guy every single day at this time. Poor guy, man. He just wants to he just wants to rank up. Anyways, playing some Mercury here today for you guys. And we're gonna be starting Golden Blade, as per usual. And what's that shard thingy called? Golden Shard. Golden Blade, Golden Shard. I think we're gonna start Horrific as well. Even though I don't really think we're gonna have early pressure against an Osiris. I think it's just pretty strong in general to have the Horrific available, especially on a character that, like, his only way to really escape the Horrific consistently would be to ult out, right, for CC immunity. So if he ever ults in aggressively and like misses or anything like that, we can definitely punish him for it. But hopefully in this video I can show you guys, a little clappy clap, hopefully I can show you guys how strong this character still is, and also how good this build is that I'm about to go. It's not like an incredibly different build. I have no idea if I'm going to put it like in the thumbnail or the title or anything like that. But it's not like a super different build. It basically just revolves around high pen and crit, essentially, right? And we're gonna go crit into an Osiris, right? So he might actually end up going double defense, like he might go spectral, in which case I'm still going to commit to the crit to hopefully show you guys that spectral is not a crit counter. Spectral is an item that allows, or that makes crit worse. Like, it's a good item that you should build into crit, but it's not necessarily a counter. You still will hit them very hard, and more importantly, when they build spectral, they're gonna have double defense, of course, right? Sorry, I need to like take a drink. My throat is dying. But and so when they go double D, they're gonna do less damage, and you're still gonna be doing pretty decent damage, right? So I didn't pay attention to from where he came from. Okay. He did not invade my blue. He is going to now, which he should, actually, because I am a Mercury. At the end of the day, I don't really have, like, the greatest early game pressure. I mean, honestly, Merc's early game pressure, it's not that it's, like, bad. It's just not great, you know? Alright, we did get the smalls. Hopefully we can out-secure him on the big one as well. We did, because we used our dash efficiently. We punched it, then 3'd him away, which gave us time to punch it again. Now he's really angry about that and he wants to beat us up. Typical schoolyard bullies, man. Always wanting to beat us up. But yeah, for those who don't watch every single video, right, and don't know who Dr. Claire's is, it's just a person I go against literally every single day because this is around his lunch break. Oh wait, actually, I think I might have just mixed him up with somebody else, actually. I think that's, never mind, yeah. My bad, that's why he didn't message me. I was thinking of Nazgul. I kind of looped them into the same person because I play them both literally every single day, and they usually both message me. Dr. Claire's doesn't always message me, if I'm remembering correctly, but he does message me sometimes. They're like literally the same rank player. I go against them at the same time every day, so I kind of like confused the two, to be honest with you. So this is not the guy I thought it was. This guy definitely messages me way less, and he's probably not on his lunch break right now. Not that that really matters, but Nazgul's the one who works at this time. That's why he plays, or he has lunch at this time. Alright, so we secured the scepter with our little special delivery. Yeah. Okay, that was troll. Ugh. He could ult into us here, but I don't think he would be able to like kill us before we kill him, especially given the fact that we have Horrific. He does have a Thorns, but if he were to ult into the tower like that, then he would actually die before the Thorns even went off. The one thing I am curious about, though, which I don't know, is whether Thorns persists after death or not. So, like, would it still do its damage if he dies? I haven't tested it. I honestly don't know. I honestly do not know. Yeah, my ult was actually tragic there, to be honest. I don't really know what I was going for. Alright, we're gonna... I think we... Like, one of the main things about Osiris is he's just a very tanky character. Arguably one of the tankiest, if not the tankiest god in the game, right? He's up there in, like, the top 3, top 5 easily. And, so that's one thing to note about him. But another thing is don't fight him in the tether, because the tether, you know, his 3 gives him damage reduction and gives you an attack speed slow. So you don't want to fight him during that. Now, whether that's just walking away or using your ult or using your dash, like right here, we're slowed, so I'm going to dash away. But the main thing is don't fight him during it. It's kind of like the same thing as like when a Baka presses 3 or a Mercury presses 2, you don't really want to fight him during it because that's their strong point, right? Okay, this is a little bit of a weird situation, to say the least. He has not ulted yet. Okay, he kind of just ulted on top of me. I don't really know what that was about, but we'll call it a day. And a couple things I should mention, by the way. First of all, you'll notice I'm on my main account, as per usual. I did mention in the previous video potentially playing on my ult. And then, like, seeing if the games are easier, harder, whatever, if they're better quality matches, because a lot of these players, like Dr. Clers, for example, play differently versus me because I went against them so many times, and they don't really have good win rates against me and stuff, so, you know, they just play differently. And, so the first thing I'll say is I still haven't made up my mind on that, but also, even if I had made up my mind on that, I don't have my Smurf to GM yet. It's like platinum, so I actually can't record on that. I mean, I could, but I don't want to record platinum duel games for you guys, so if I ever were to play on an alt account, it would be just for the purpose of people not knowing who I am. It would not be to go against like worse players. In fact, that's completely counterintuitive to what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to get better games, not worse, so I would wait until my account's in GM. Which, regardless of whether I decide to do that or not, I'll probably rank it up, just in case I do. Well, stopping his back here because I don't want him to be too strong for the next scepter. The scepter spawns in 20 seconds, or well, when I stop his back, it spawns in 20 seconds, 3 seconds after that, actually. And I don't want him to get it back because he would be able to back, clear the wave, and be here for the scepter. Like, he would have enough time, and I don't want him to be able to get his defensive item. While I don't think I'm going to fight too hard for this, I think I'm mainly just going to throw him off of it if he does contest. He's actually opted not to contest at all, so whatever. Oh, and the other thing I was wanting to mention just a moment ago, got a little distracted, about, you know, I looked at your guys' feedback and whatnot, and dude, it's raining so hard. I hope you guys can, I hope you guys can't hear the rain. It's incredibly loud. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I looked at your guys' feedback and stuff, and I think like a lot of you guys, maybe it's not that many, but I think a good chunk of you guys pretty much said that you don't really care whether I stomp or not, or whether competitive games or not. I think everyone agrees that like you guys would rather see competitive games, but I think you guys also understand that like there's not that many people that can compete. Like, there's not that many good players. So with that in mind, with that in mind, I think that a lot of you guys have kind of just accepted the fact that that I'm going to be stomping a lot, and like you're okay with that. Like, pretty much that was like the majority of comments that I saw and messages that I got, was people pretty much just saying like, you know, I would much rather see you stomp people all day long than like feed kills or do anything like that. That the inting kills and stuff like that is boring to a lot of you guys. As far as whether I should play on an alt account or not, was like 50-50, whatever. But the general consensus was that you guys do not want to see me int, and do not want to see me play bad on purpose to make the games more interesting. So, I'm just saying that I did read that, and like, I just want to say that I take it seriously in the sense of, it makes me feel a little bit better that you guys don't mind seeing stomp games. Like, you guys actually like it to a certain degree. Maybe not all of you, right? But a good chunk of you guys actually like to see me beat people. Like, I think you guys kind of like live vicariously through me, slash... No, dude. Slash, you try to just learn from what I do, even if it is against, like, you know, lesser tier players, etc., right? This is my first recording, by the way. You know, excuses, I know, but this is my first take of the day. My very first take. My very first game of the day, even. So, these little things, like, when I ulted earlier, and, like, securing these buffs, especially since I'm talking and, you know, trying to explain things to you guys and just talk, I am not... Oh, okay. Yeah, see, like, that should explain it right there. I am not fully locked in, to say the least, but... I mean, I think I've explained what I had to say, so... I just want to say I thank you guys for your feedback, and I will try my best to stomp people, man. So, without further ado, I'm going to play this game normally, and try my best to win harder. Because I am kind of giving him a little bit of leeway that he shouldn't have. Oh, my one got canceled because I got stunned. Yeah! I think that should hit him. Yeah, because he was highlighted. Okay, I'll admit that was a little bit dangerous. That was a little bit dumb. But we did come out the victor. We did win. Goes how it goes. I thought that I could dive him because I have pretty good damage at this stage of the game. Dude, I healed so much from my chalice. I have pretty good damage at this stage of the game, and he didn't have a second relic, right? So all he has is thorns. It's not really the greatest defensive option. Now, I didn't play that perfectly, but neither did he, and so ended up working out just fine. We're gonna go into a 4th item oboe here, or not oboe. Oops. Dude, I cannot stress enough how little my brain is functioning right now, but like it's mostly just in communicating and stuff like that. Like I can play fine. Like especially Mercury, like dude, I've been playing Mercury for years and he's not the hardest character. So like yeah, I can play Merc just fine. But as far as like my, you know, trying to explain things to you guys, trying to talk, yeah. We're not fully there right this moment. Alright, we're punching him, I don't think we want to fight into the tether as per usual. Especially when we're like super close to a really big power spike. Maybe if we had our power spike there, maybe. I will say we can. I did get the beads, by the way, for the tether, because there will be times where sometimes it's not really about whether I mean, like I can fight into the tether and I want to, but like I may not. Like it's what am I trying to say? See, dude, my brain is just not functioning. What I'm trying to say is there will be times where I can take the attack speed reduction and I can take the damage reduction, but I cannot take the stun. So I need the beads to stick it to him. Like I need the beads so I can keep fighting him without getting stunned, because the stun will be what throws it overboard, right? Will be the reason why we lose the fight, not necessarily his. Dude! Like right here, I think I'm gonna beads this stun. He isn't his full passive though, which sucks, because that means he's like as tanky as he can be. We're using the ult to basically make him juke us for whatever reason. I don't really know why he's juking us like that. I actually think I'm just gonna go straight to oh wow, this thing spawned. I'm gonna go straight to Bull Demon, I think. Why not? We gotta try to punish him a little bit for getting that red buff and then backing off and choosing not to fight us. Alright, so we don't have our ult here, we don't have our beads. We want to try our best, and we don't have our 2 to immune slows, which by the way I should have mentioned. Mercury can immune slows with his 2 once you press it. Alright, we're just getting as many rocks off of this as we can. Clearing the wave. He might ult after us. In fact, that's what he should do. I think we'll just horrific him and be able to walk away. No problem. But the thing about it is we're just so much faster than him. We are way faster than him because Mercury is a faster character, and also I have 2 movement speed items, right? But the main thing we're relying on there until he gets a sprint, I assume he's going to go beads, which also does the same thing. Similar thing, right? But not exactly the same thing. Is my horrific. If he ever actually does ult on top of me, I'll just be able to horrific him. Maybe he did ult me and I just didn't notice it. I don't know. No, I don't think he did ult. I think he recognizes the fact that I'll get out either way, but even so, I think he should have tried to ult, to be honest. We only have this Bull Demon for a little while longer. Looks like he's healing his Phoenix, perhaps? Interesting. Yeah, I don't think we should just take all this damage, man. It's kind of like a tough situation here. I don't think we're going to get much off of the Bull Demon here because I did kind of int a little bit by running around. But I won't lie, I'm not that worried about it because I really do. Like, and I'm not doing this on purpose. Like, that was just a poorly, like, I just executed that whole situation poorly. I didn't do it on purpose. But what I will say is I'm not like super upset about it because I can potentially get my build online, and I want to show you guys how much damage I can do late game. It's not going to be like a ridiculous amount of damage because at the end of the day I am against one of the tankiest gods in the game. You got to recognize that. But like I think the fact that I will like still be able to kill him very quickly and still be able to shred him should show you guys. You know, if I can shred one of the tankiest gods in the game, that should show you guys how strong this is, right? I think we can contest this and get out with our ult. Dang, that is unlucky, man. don't think we should get punished at all for using our ult. We should be perfectly fine. We're going to back up here. I'm going to get the boomerang first before the Deathbringer. I will say you definitely could go the Deathbringer first. In fact, it probably does more damage. It's just I'm looking for higher crit chance. Like I want to be able to crit more. Also, the attack speed on it helps because while we don't really need attack speed to, you know, gain attack speed, we do have Silver Branch. So technically Boomerang gives more power than Deathbringer. Just a little bit more because the Boomerang. Alright, so we don't have our ult. We got to keep that in mind. Trying to get a lucky little crit on him. But once we get our Deathbringer online, that's when this game really starts. That's the late game motto, baby. Deathbringer online. Game over. Now, I kind of hope he goes Spectral because I want to see my damage numbers into it, but he might not. We'll see. I think he's holding a lot of gold right now. Alright, we got the Scepter, which is great for us. And we're not that far away from the Deathbringer, man. We're not that far. I hope he goes Spectral. Because, like, technically he can see I'm going double crit, right? He would see he gets a lot of value. And if he doesn't go Spectral, I think he'll just pop like a bubble. Also, the fact that he hasn't won a second relic is interesting to me. I don't know if he's just waiting for a second relic or if he really likes this golden shard. But he needs to go beads, though. You need beads versus Mercury, assuming the Mercury is going to land an ult. Like, if the Mercury lands an ult on you late game and you don't have beads, he can CC chain you and crit you a lot, so... Be very interesting if he doesn't go beads. He might go sprint, though, honestly, just for my horrific. / just to chase me in general. Alright, so he went dominance. He doesn't have double defense. Big mistake on his part. I really think you need a Spectral versus Mercury. Now, even though it doesn't counter him, again, I can't stress that enough. Spectral does not counter this build. It does not counter Mercury. But that doesn't mean it's not still a good option for you to get, right? I'll buy some wards. We are really close to the Spectral, but we're not there quite yet. I don't want to kill this guy. Yeah, I'm so much faster than this Chester. I actually left him in the dust, bro. Holy. I actually left that dude in the dust. Alright. We're going to back up here. We're going to buy Deathbringer. We're going to leave the base. We're so fast with the Chester since we backed on top of it. And hopefully we can secure this red buff. Or screw it, dude. We don't even need the red buff. We're just going to kill this dude. That's the way I see it anyways. Okay. I feel like that Thorns obliterated us, man. Holy. Dude, the Thorns actually destroyed us. He did 441. Plus, he's like an incredibly tanky character. I actually want to fight him one more time because that was too close. What I will say, though, is like, again, I think this proves my point, to be clear. Like, I think it does prove my point a bit. But one thing I will say, I don't even want to poke his Titan because I want him to feel comfortable leaving and coming to fight me. I don't know how good of crit RNG I got there. I don't know if I got shafted or not. But one other thing I will say is my ult was a little bit bad, and I'm against literally the tankiest god in the game, or at least like the top 3 tankiest gods in the game. So the fact that it's close, like, first of all, that Thorns did almost 500 damage to me, but the fact that it's close isn't that crazy to me. If I were against literally like anything else, like even a high tier hunter, maybe not literally the highest, maybe not an Uller, maybe not a Hou Yi, but if I were against anything else, I would pop them so quick. In fact, actually, even against higher tier characters than Osiris, it would still probably be a little bit easier because they're not as tanky as him. Now, he does have the Spectral. I need to, like, catch him out when he doesn't have his passive activated. I don't know if he had his passive or not last fight, but we did buy the DB glyph, which is going to give us even more crit chance. Now, there's an argument to say Demon Blade could be better in this very specific situation for the simple fact that it does give pin. Now, I think Demon Blade is actually kind of bad, I'll be honest. Like, I think that item has been shafted. I think it's left in the dust. It's a bad item now. However, in this very specific situation, you know, due to the same thing I keep saying 85 times this game about him being the tankiest guy in the game, in this very specific situation, I think it could be good. He's double defense, right? In fact, you know what? I think we will do that. He's double defense Osiris. And we don't need to talk about why I'm saying Osiris, right, guys? Because I've already said it 85 times. So we're gonna swap out the boomerang for the demon blade. But again, I can't stress this enough. Demon blade is not better than boomerang. It is not a better item. I'm only doing it because I'm against a double defense warrior. It is not a better item. Well, he kind of wasted his thorns. I wasted my ult a little bit. Look how much damage I do to him, though. Double defense Osiris, by the way. Bro. This build is cracked, I swear. That is a double defense Osiris. Granted, he played his ult wrong there. I either didn't use his ult. I don't know. I have terrible fight recollection. But, recollection, I should say. But, I don't know if he ulted or not. But, yeah, he did ult out. Yeah, he did. But he played his thorns wrong. I don't know why he has shell. Like, he played this whole situation wrong. Don't get me wrong. But you can still see I do big damage. Not only is he double defense and Osiris, he has spectral. I am critting for almost 300 very, very, very consistently, very quickly. I'm cap attack speed, critting for 300 on a character that is supposedly anti-crit. Like, he is trying to counter my critical strikes and has this item that gives mitigations when he's low HP and is playing the character. Because again, for those who don't know why I keep saying Osiris is so tanky, it's because his 3 is a damage reduction by 20%. His 3 is a attack speed reduction by 30%, and he has a passive that gives mitigation, the tankiest stat in the entire game. Mitigation even mitigates true damage, by the way. It even reduces true damage. So this character can get a bunch of mitigations throughout this passive. So that's why I say he's one of the most tanky characters in the entire game. And I was hitting him when at the very end there, after Osiris ults, he gets this full passive. So he gets all of these mitigations here. And I was hitting him during that, hitting him for like 300. So I'm going to skip you guys into one more game where hopefully I get my build online. Hopefully it's not a stomp, but I want to show you guys this build against somebody who's not Osiris, right? And give you guys a better example. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll skip you guys into the next game. Thank you so much. All right, guys, we're off into the second game. As you can see, I last manned Osiris just in case I was going against the same player or whatever. I didn't want to waste my time going against another tanky boy. And this is a pretty good matchup, actually, because I think a lot of people are probably a little bit confused on who would win this matchup. I'll tell you right now, either one can win. I think this is kind of like a player matchup, meaning typically the better player just wins. It's even enough for the better player to win. But if I had to really choose, I'd say probably Mercury. I think Mercury hits harder than Nemesis late game. He just simply hits harder. But what I will say is if the Nemesis is good and, you know, usually gets her autos off first because Nemesis passive. Here, let me buy my stuff here before I start getting too crazy. If Nemesis gets her autos off really early in the fight because Nemesis passive makes it to where she reduces her opponent's power and like steals it from him, from the other person and gives it to her, right? So that's a very impactful thing, but Nem has been nerfed quite a lot, and also Horrific is anti-shield and anti-heal, which that's exactly what her shield is, a heal and a shield. And Green XC is anti-shield, anti-heal, so it's like, am I actually going to build Green XC? Probably not. I'll probably just rely on my Horrific, but I'm just saying, I don't know, I'm not trying to say Nemesis is weak right now, because she's not. Dude, why does everyone start the red buff late? Why? Why does everyone do this now? Everyone does it. God. Just such a common strategy now. I don't know what happened, man. It's so annoying. Anyways. I'm not saying Nemesis is weak right now, because she's still as strong as ever in the sense of she hits incredibly hard, right? She has really good early clear and stuff like that with the golden shard. But her shield definitely is probably in a bad spot right now, just due to Horrific and Green XC and, you know, things of that sort, right? So, like, the character overall is fine, but her shield doesn't feel that great these days, I would say. And we're going to group up the minions by hitting her with the 1. And then we're golden sharding this thing down. Golden shard did recently get a nerf, by the way, so that if you're wondering, you know, if you're wondering if golden shard sucks, kind of does, to be honest, but I think it's still your best option on a lot of characters that lack clear. She's a little bit low on mana, so am I. So far, I think we're trading mostly evenly. I'm definitely losing the trade, but I think we're doing mostly fine. She's gonna 2 me in the melees, interestingly enough. If she gets too close to my tower here... Oh, okay. I was gonna try to swoop her into the tower there, but she actually used her second dash very quickly. Was not expecting that. I think I'm just gonna hold this wave here, and then I'm gonna 1 it as my minions go in. And I'm gonna back. And so hopefully I get credit for those minions is the idea. Alright, yeah, looks like we did get all of them. We're backing. We're buying a health chalice and a golden. Actually, you know, I probably could have like ulted up there and maybe caught her, but I don't know. I don't like plays like that because they're kind of risky in the sense of like, what if I ult up and get nothing out of it? Then I just don't have my ults and I could have gotten more farm out of it. Like, I don't know. I don't really like plays like that typically. I'm just going to secure what I know to be true, which is the farm. Call it a day. So now she has to clear this wave. And hopefully, I should have enough time to get my blue buff, especially considering the fact that we have Golden Blade, Golden Shard, and we have the Scepter. Scepter helps you farm as well. I'm going to pick this bad boy up. We're going to back before Chester's spawn, ideally, at 3 minutes. Probably look to clear the wave first, though. Probably. Super speed. This guy hasn't really been playing too poorly or anything yet, although I will say it's not really that hard to play good into Mercury early game, because like I said, his early game, it's not bad, it's just not good. It's like a very mid-tier early game. One thing I will say, he caught my dash there, but it's fine because I'm in the bracer, it's not a big deal. Alright, he's kind of just letting me out farm him, I don't know. And yes, I did just ult for a Chester. Don't care. Okay, hopefully we don't die for it though, because that would be kind of depressing. Nah, we're good. It kind of got scary because he did horrific me, right? But at the end of the day, I have horrific as well. It kind of does the same thing. He ulted me, but like I said, Nemesis has gotten a lot of nerfs here recently. And yeah, her ult isn't what it used to be as far as a slow and movement speed steroid is concerned. It's gotten nerfed quite a lot. Dang, unlucky. Actually lost some farm because of that. One thing I will say, which I haven't really been using that well this game, or even the last game for that matter, because the last game I was against a slow character as well. Again, Mercury 2 is slow immune, and so that's one of the things that make this matchup a lot harder for Nemesis, just in general. And she relies on slows, so... I'm gonna back on the bracer, or the Chester, I should say. Oh, it actually disappeared, so I didn't get, like, the full movement speed. But it's okay. So, right now, we're kind of just waiting until we get to the point of the game where we can win. Because Nemesis's early game fighting potential is better than ours, I would say. And she's kind of messing up too. Like by going Golden Blade, it's actually terrible on Nemesis in my opinion. I would not recommend Golden Blade Nemesis whatsoever these days, especially since we have Golden Shard, nerfed or not. I think you should just go Transcendence, or at the very least a Dominance. But yeah. And he does have the Scepter here, which is just one more thing that's gonna beat us down. Oops. He just used his buff secure. He is just not, he just doesn't care about securing this buff at all. He's literally just trying to hit me. Which is fine. I mean, he is bullying me out a bit, but at the same time, I think we are just going to buy this and then ult to the wave, I think. Oh, the Scepter hit me. Oh, my dash was down for 1 second there. That is so unlucky. But the Scepter actually hit me, so it made him take aggro. We can look to invade his buff here. We can look to secure the Scepter. Unfortunately, we don't have a horrific, and we just don't do that much damage to him, which is kind of like a part of why I was saying that it's a bad idea for him to fight me instead of the red buff earlier, because he was trying to basically bully me off. But if you don't do that much damage, then I can just simply steal the buff from you and walk away and not really care that you're hitting me because you don't do that much damage. Like your Golden Blade with defense, same as me, right? I'm not really trying to kill you that badly. I mean, I tried a little bit, but I'm mostly just trying to secure the farm, right? So... interesting play by her, to say the least. I think she's just feeling herself a little bit. I mean, it is a Masters board or Nemesis. She probably thinks she wins this matchup pretty hard. And at this stage of the game, I think she does, actually. Oh, she's going right into crit. Okay, this should make an interesting game, I think. See who out-crits who. Being able to dash her dash is also really important in this matchup. Very strong thing that we can do. I'm going to get a proximity ward just as a backup because I'll be honest, like, and you guys have seen it. It's probably no surprise to you. You guys have seen it. I play really greedy on Mercury because I just think that I can't die. And that's obviously not true. Of course I can die. But like sometimes I just do stupid stuff. I waste my ult or I waste my dash doing stupid stuff, either for fun or for farm or both. But the point is like I just feel like I can't die on this character. So I do a lot of stupid stuff, to be honest. And so the proximity ward may actually bail me out of one of those situations if they do happen. I mean, I clearly cannot win this trade right now, right? Kind of just beats me up, man. I don't have any pen, and her passive is so strong. Like, her passive is definitely better than my passive at this stage of the game. Not even a question. I did just use the last of her mana, though. Okay. The reason why I was a little tiny bit cautious there is because she had a little bit of mana left, and I was afraid she was going to use her shield. And I don't know how the interaction of Mercury ult works with Nemesis shield. And what I mean by that is some stuns or some CCs, the damage comes through before the CC. So what does that mean? It means that while you may cancel her shield, you're actually going to do the damage first. And if you do the damage first, even though you canceled the shield, she gets a heal off of it. So, and I don't know how Mercury's works. I don't know if it's one of the ones that is going to give her a heal and then cancel it, or if it's not. So that's why I was playing a little bit cautious there. You know, this is a little bit untraditional, but it is something I do want to put in this video because I think it's a very strong thing that not a lot of Mercury players do, is buy Bracer. Bracer is very good because, well, it just gives you a lot of power, gives you a lot of movement speed, and for Mercury, movement speed is power, right? And in a matchup like this, I don't really think I need another relic. If I did, it would be like Thorns to help me trade with her, or it would be... I think this really, a lot of this comes down to whether she gets good crit RNG on me or not. Like, yeah, that was a crit. Ow. She got pretty decent crit RNG there, I would say, overall. I'm not too upset about it, though. I can pick this up. I do think the Bracer helped out a lot there. Maybe I could have stuck that, I don't know, but I didn't cancel her shield quick enough either. Like, I want to try to dash her shield every time, although that is risky, of course, because if I dash her shield and then lose the fight, I die, right? That's, of course, risky. But I think it's worth a try. Be right back. Let's go same build. We're gonna go boomerang just like she did. We're gonna go crit just like she is, except we're getting pin online first. And a lot of power online first with our silver branch, of course. I will say you don't need pin for crit to do damage. In fact, I think I talked about that in the on her video where like I think I had like 1 pin item and 5 items, and like I did other games as well where in 5 items deep and an on her mirror, I had no pin whatsoever and was doing perfectly fine damage. So what I'm getting at is her build idea isn't bad. Like it's perfectly fine. Just rushing crit and no pin, it's definitely good. What I would say is she should have a serrated before that, because serrated is more than just pin, it's just a good item overall. But as far as like me going silver branch over crit, I could easily just go crit right now too. I just want the silver branch because that's what I prefer, right? Alright, we horrificed her. She sprinted it. And she could have just hid behind that tower there, which I probably I probably still would have ulted in, which it would have been risky, but I think I still could have killed her. But it's kind of interesting that instead of hiding directly behind the tower, she actually went to the far right so I could hit her with the ult. Very weird. Maybe, I honestly think I probably should have ulted her a little bit sooner there. I kind of held my ult for a while, playing a little bit more passive than I would like, but yeah, it's just respect, honestly. It's not about being scared, it's just respect. I mean, it is a Masters border Nemesis with a crit build in a matchup where it's not straightforward, like I said. I do think that this matchup could go to either character, right? It easily could go to either character. And like I said, Mercury, the reason why I think Mercury wins is because I think Mercury wins late game, right? So that means we're not at late game yet. This is mid game now, and we're just now getting there. So, like I said, I'm playing a little bit more passive than I would like, but just trying to respect the Nemesis before I get wrecked. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, you know? I assumed she'd be on this Bull Demon. Typical play. When people get behind, they panic and go straight for the Bull Demon. She is going to shield right after I throw her. Yeah, she's kind of just like juking me super hard right now. I actually am going to kill this Chester because... What? Dude, there's no way he surrendered, man. I guess I shouldn't have killed him there. I don't know. I didn't even get to my turbo crit mode. I didn't get to the turbo epic crit boy. What the heck, man? That just doesn't... Do I really have to queue up another Mercury game, man? All right, I'll queue up another Mercury game, and hopefully I can get to late game. But even if I don't, I'll just make it a 3-parter, and you know, we can go off of the Osiris game. But I will queue up one more, get you guys one more Mercury game. I don't know why he surrendered, man. That's so weird. I didn't even have to use my bracer in that last fight because he just panicked and went straight to Bull Demon, because that's what duelers do. Smile. Okay, maybe I'll just go crit earlier in the game next time. Although that defeats the purpose, because the whole point is just to get the entire build. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna title this or thumbnail it, but still, I would like to get my full build or at least 5 items in. I don't know. I'll skip you guys into the next game. Thank you for watching. Alright guys, we're off into the final game, regardless of whether this guy F6s or not, or whether we make it to late game or not, or whether, you know, I lose or not. I might lose, you know, who knows, right? So we're gonna hop into this one, same build as always, same. Clean. Go beads. Go beads in the gooby. So, if you watch my videos, or watch my stream for a long time, you probably know that I almost, not always, but almost always find a way to die to Anubis early game. I almost never lose to this character, but I always find a way to die in the early game, or almost always find a way to die in the early game. So hopefully we can avoid that, because if I can't out-pressure a Nemesis in the early game, I most certainly cannot out-pressure an Anubis, assuming he doesn't misplay really hard. Of course, if he just runs it down like a bot, then we're going to be able to, you know, hit him with the punchies, right? But, assuming he plays correctly, like, we do have a little bit of potential, given the fact that we can dash his one, stuff like that, right? We're going to look around, see where he's at, see if we can try to find him, because everybody seems to love to do this wait around the corner at red buff invade thing. Super cringe and annoying, but whatever. All right, we're going to start it, and then have them pop out of nowhere and attack it. I mean, it is a mage, so he might just be at his blue buff. Usually it's not mages that do that. Although you would be surprised, mages do most certainly do it. Sometimes I put words in between my double do's, so that way you guys can't say that I said doo-doo. I mean, like, I did just say doo-doo just now, but, you know, aside from that. Alright, so he has a horrific. He's training wheels in us. I don't really know why he would try to do that versus a Mercury, though, because we are slow immune. Although, maybe he just knows it's me and knows that I will never use my 2 for slow immunity because I'm an idiot. I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Okay, he read that I would juke really hard, because I did juke, you know, the second before that, but that was like a hard read. He threw that thing all the way to the side. Alright, we can back by our golden blade. Luckily this thing's only 900, pretty cheap item, because we need it really badly. Golden Blade, Golden Shard. And again, this thing got nerfed. The Golden Shard actually kind of sucks these days, but it does still feel nice for characters that have no clear. Like Mercury, Bakasura, Arachne, right? Again, not Nemesis. Nemesis's clear is fine. Doesn't need Golden Blade, although you can get Golden Shard. Perfectly fine. I mean, I guess I was talking about Golden Shard, not Golden Blade. But yeah, you can go Golden Blade on Nemesis, because her clear is, you know, just bad enough to where you want that. Also, it's like, what else would you get, right? Like a Wing Shard. Wing Shard can be good, but a lot of the times I find it to be a little bit overrated. It really just, it's situationally good. The Claw Shard just feels nice, man, on Nemesis, and allows you to feel a little bit better about not going Golden Blade as well. Although you still could forgo the Golden Blade even if you didn't have that shard, just to be clear. Her clear actually is good. It's worth noting that I was a little bit distracted there, especially considering that Anubis just ulted me for like no apparent reason. I should have got a health chalice that last time I backed. I should have sold my potions and purchased a health chalice. I had the gold for it and I just didn't. And there's really no reason for it other than the fact that I was just distracted. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Oh, I thought he would throw the wrap. And so, just in case I don't mention it at the end of the video, although I should, but in case I don't mention it at the end of the video, of course, in place of Berserker Shield, we're going Shoguns against a magical character. Shoguns is that feel-good item, gives us a ton of mana sustain. It doesn't have the HP 5 that Berserkers has, but it does give us mana sustain, and it gives us even more attack speed. Actually, a lot more attack speed than Berserkers. Berserkers has the potential to compare to Shoguns, but only when its passive is procced. Technically, Shoguns actually gives way more damage than Berserkers does, because it's always 40% attack speed no matter what, whereas Berserkers is what, 20 or 25%, and then you get more when you get the proc. That's smart. He's actually using his one through the wall here. If we can get an ult on him, we gotta remember he doesn't have beads, but at the same time, he is a Bancroft's Anubis. If I get him really low and then he ults us, he's going to shred us. I mean, this is why I always end up dying to Anubis early games, because I underestimate how much damage he can do, and then I just kind of run into him. Alright, his abilities are down. He just has his ult. Okay, he kind of just let us kill him. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Like, I guess they're just panicking, but like sometimes it really does just feel like my opponent is just standing there allowing me to kill them. Like, they're like, please, take me. I do not wish to live in this world anymore. Like, why did he use his ult? At least try. Like, would his ult have gotten him out there? I don't know, maybe not. But like, that's his best chance, you know, try to heal a little bit, try to do something. They just stand there and let me defeat them in battle. Alright, this is going to feel amazing. We're gonna go straight into the serrated. Go straight into the serrated. This could be one of those games where like I could go crit earlier or I could go silver branch earlier, especially, you know, since I have a Shoguns, right? But I'm just gonna stick to my build, man. I just like it. The serrated is so nice for movement speed. Helps Merc out a lot. The lifesteal, tons of power, tons of upfront pin. Like, it's just something I like. But it is worth noting, so I'm gonna tell you guys. I could have just went silver branch into crit here, or crit into silver branch, and then serrated like 5th or 6th item. That would have been perfectly fine. Gonna walk up and punch him. I actually thought he would have died that first punch, but I guess not. And see, like, this is the part where, like, especially since I'm trying to get to late game, right? I'm trying to get to a late game build and show you guys the power that I possess. I kind of want to, like, int and die to him so that way he doesn't have 6. But like I said, you guys are giving me feedback, and from what I can tell from the feedback, you guys don't want that. Like, it doesn't really seem as though you guys want me to do that. So we'll just play it out. Play it out like normal. If you have 6s, you have 6s, man. Goes how it goes. Yep. He is a mage and he is behind, and I did have a red buff, but like it just shows you how much damage Mercury can do. This is actually kind of like a funny video, I think, because the first two matchups that I showed you guys are actually like some of the harder, like after bans, I mean, you know, after you ban 6 characters, the first 2 characters I had in this video are, sorry, I had to mute there. The first 2 characters are actually like pretty tough matchups for Mercury in the sense of, especially like if I'm trying to demonstrate damage. We're not going to talk about Osiris because I already told you guys about that. But Nemesis is just one of, if not the best boxers in this game. And by boxer, I mean like auto attack traders. She's up there with Bellona and Mercury. Like she is a top 3 like melee boxer. Maybe top 5, right? She is one of the best at doing that. So it's like, again, I'm showing you guys Mercury, maybe not in player matchups, but in God matchups, the first 2 games, I'm showing you guys Mercury in like the worst situations possible. Like actually, at least like in, you know, the top of the list, at least as far as worst situations. So I couldn't do as much damage early as I would like. I would say more often matchups go a little bit more like this, although not all of them though. And I think there's more to learn from going against those higher tier characters that are better suited to beat Mercury than it is like a game like this. So I definitely don't regret playing those games. I don't regret getting those games, good games. I just want to stress that, like, you know, Mercury's a little bit stronger than you might have, noticed from that game, or those games, I should say. Oh, we didn't hit him with our ult, which is actually terrible. I wanted to try to kill him here. But we did get the blue buff, so I dashed super weird and messed up my ult, playing perfectly as per usual. No problem. No problem. You know, honestly, maybe I will go Deathbringer before Silver Branch this game. Like, and like, honestly, the other game I went Deathbringer last, right? So I guess it's before more than just Silver Branch. But I think I might just go with Silver Branch here, or a Deathbringer here, and show you guys how hard I can hit even early game, and show you guys what it's like to. Well, I was gonna say go crit before pen, but I do have serrated pen, right? But crit before like a ton of pen, I guess. But 20% is 20%, right? It's pretty good. $20, you know, I'm so... Alright, I'm back. I wonder if I build crit right now, if he'll go Spectral, though. I actually kind of want him to go Spectral. That'd be interesting.
An update is available for your face! Get ready for some mass deletion!
Bro, when I was a kid and I heard that voice line, I most certainly did not think he said that, to be clear. Pretty close to my Deathbringer, and he hasn't finished his item, so if he pressed tab right after seeing me there, or the minion seeing me there, he would actually have time to build crit, or anti-crit. Like, he would see that I'm building into it, and he would build Spectral. That's if he's paying attention, and that's also if he even wants that, right? He might go Breastplate and then Spectral later, or he might just be the type that doesn't want to build Spectral ever, right? Alright, what's he got? He's got a Breastplate. So he either wasn't paying attention, or he just doesn't want it. We're gonna pre-beads this. Now, my crits weren't that big there, but it is worth noting that, like, I don't have a power pot, I don't have my red buff like I usually do, and he did horrific me, right? And horrific does lower your damage by like 10%. But what I will say is I'm still punching this guy pretty freaking hard. I'm kind of annihilating him a little bit. I think I will go Silver Branch before I go more crit, because Silver Branch will make me do more damage than more crit will. Obviously, more crit equals more crit chance, which, you know, that's like an RNG factor, whether you're going to do more damage or not. But the Silver Branch, because I'm overcapping pretty hard when I press my 2. So the Silver Branch, not only will it make me overcap even harder with the attack speed it gives, but it'll give me more damage off my 2, so... He wasted his thing, so we're just going to punch him in the face here. But yeah, we're doing big damage. Also, a part of my crit not doing that much earlier is because Mercury does have an auto attack progression. So, like, for example, that could have been the 0.75 auto attack crit, which would have naturally have done less damage than the 1.25, right, for example. But yeah, I think I'm done here, guys. I showed you guys how strong Mercury can be. We stomped some fools. You guys apparently like to see some stomps. Say GG to the lad, and then we'll talk about builds here. Although, like I said, I really do think I would build just about the same thing. That was kind of the whole point of wanting to see Mercury, or wanting to see people go Spectral into me, was because that would be the one thing. Why can I never find Mercury? That would be the one thing that would change the build, is if Spectral counters it, but it doesn't. I would build this pretty much every single game. Of course, we go this. And of course, I'm always going to mention this bad boy if you ever need it in the right situation, like a 6-item Magi's could make or break your game against like an Apollo or something of that nature. But I would always go these. I would always go serrated third. Now this is where things change up a little bit. You can go crit next if you want. You can go silver branch. Just to give you guys a little bit of an idea, I'm going to just go ahead and put the items here. Why not? Just like in the first game. Almost always boomerang. The only time I wouldn't is if I was against a really tanky target with double defense. Like a Hercules, because he has prots in his kit and he's a warrior. Like when I say tanky targets, I don't just mean double defense. I mean like the god itself is actually tanky as well, right? So, and you always want this Deathbringer glyph. Do not go with Malicious Deathbringer. It is not good. It's very niche. Go this one. So you, with these two items together, if you pick up 3 boomerangs, which is actually quite unrealistic, so keep that in mind, but you can get up to like, what, 97% crit if you pick up 3 boomerangs, and you can get at least close to that if you just pick up 1 or 2, right? So it's really, really strong. This crit chance calculator on the side is not counting for the glyph. It's not counting for picking up the boomerangs, which gives you more crit chance, so keep that in mind. But you are 60% flat with just these. More than that with the glyph. So keep that in mind. Actually, does this... Wait, maybe it does count for the glyph, actually. 30%. Yeah, okay, it does count for the glyph. It's just not counting the boomerangs. I'm assuming, right? Either way, the point is you get a lot of crit. The only things I would say that are different about this build is if you really wanted to, you could go green Xe. I don't really recommend it. I don't think you need it. Even against high healing targets, like I was against an Anubis last game, I don't think you need anti-heal if you just kill them incredibly quickly, although it's worth mentioning. There are some matchups where Erendite can be decent. I'm not really going to put it here though, just going to let you guys know. Dominance is a good pin item that makes you hit really hard. You could take that in place of the crit items if you don't really like crit that often, or crit that much. I'll accept that guy's friend request. As far as anything else goes, like I really don't like. You can get Oboe in place of like your Deathbringer last if you just want to end the game. This actually is a lot of damage. This gives you a ton of Silver Branch stacks. In your Oboe, you're going to have a ton of power with this build once you pop your 2 with Silver Branch, because and Oboe scales off of that, right? So it's going to do a ton of damage to the Titan. That's a good option as well. Like I said, you could always go this late game. You go the Shoguns in place of the Berserker Shield if you need it. I don't really think Mercury is much of a double defense character. So I wouldn't really recommend that, but I'm telling you guys, 9 times out of 10, I'm just going to build this and call it a day. Like 9 times out of 10, he doesn't really have that many other items that I think are that good. And you don't really need them that much. Like Dominance is okay, Kins is okay, Xe is okay, but you just don't really need them. You know, you just don't really need them. You can go Aussie too. Aussie is a pretty decent lifesteal item late game if they have no healing, but you don't really need it. This is what I would build pretty much every single game. I appreciate you guys for clicking and watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.